All right, so today we're going to talk about something that might just completely flip how you think about fitness. We're getting away from those super rigid daily routines and diving into a mindset that's all about freedom, flexibility, and yeah, just being ready for whatever life decides to throw at you.
So let me just start by asking you this. Does your workout routine own you? Have you ever felt like you're a slave to your fitness plan instead of it being a tool that serves you? If that sounds even a little bit familiar, trust me, you are in the right place.
Oh man, it's this endless loop, right? You've got the pressure of the daily checklist, the anxiety that comes with breaking a streak, and then that wave of guilt that washes over you when, life happens. It's this huge psychological weight that can make fitness feel like a total chore.
But what if there was another way to do all this? A way to build a strong, capable body without the daily grind and all the guilt that comes with it? Well, we're about to break down an idea that helps you do exactly that. Take back control.
So first things first, we've got to talk about the core problem with most of these rigid fitness plans. Let's call it the all-or-nothing trap.
Yeah, this whole obligation model, it's got some pretty serious flaws. You miss one single day and suddenly it feels like a total catastrophe, right? A vacation or a big project at work, that should be exciting, but instead, it just becomes another source of stress because you're worried about your routine. We get so obsessed with the system that we forget why we're doing it in the first place, to live a better, more awesome life. So, how do we get out of this trap? Well, the answer is a really fundamental shift in how we look at this. It's about moving from a mindset of obligation to one of pure capability.
Think about it. The old way of thinking, the traditional model, is all about that nagging question every single day. Did I check the box? Did I do my 100 push-ups? The entire focus is on the doing.
But the capacity model? It asks a totally different question. It asks, hey, right now, can I do 100 push-ups? You see that shift? It's not about what you did today. It's about what you can do whenever. And honestly, that is a complete game changer.
Now, the core idea here is something called baseline capacity. And this is super important. This is not a workout plan. It's your personal minimum standard. It's the set of physical skills that you decide are non-negotiable for living the life you want to live. The goal is simple, really. It's just to be always ready.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but how does it actually work in the real world? Let's get into the nitty-gritty, the actual operating system behind this whole idea.
It's actually a super simple three-part system that pretty much runs itself. First, you figure out your personal baseline. Second, you use these really simple check-ins to see where you're at. And third, you've got this cool tool called adaptive intensification for when you want to aim a little higher. Let's break each of those down.
So defining your baseline is all about you. What do you want to be able to do? No questions asked. Maybe it's being strong enough to carry all the groceries in one trip. We all know that feeling of victory. Or maybe it's having the endurance to go on a long hike with friends and not be the one totally gassed. Or doing 10 pull-ups. Or even that classic test of longevity, sitting on the floor and standing back up without using your hands. These are your benchmarks, not your chores.
So how do you know if you're maintaining that baseline? You use a check-in. And listen, this part is so important. A check-in is not a high-pressure test. You're not passing or failing. You are simply gathering a piece of data. That's it. It's a low-stress way to just see where you're at.
And here is the beautiful simplicity of this whole system. Let's stick with that 100 push-up baseline. You do a quick check-in. If you hit 100, great. The signal is clear. And your response? Nothing. Go live your life. But what if you only hit 70? Well, that's not a failure. It's just a signal. It means your capacity has dipped a little. And the response is just as simple. Okay, I'll add a few push-up sessions into my week for a bit until I'm back. No guilt, just data and a clear, simple plan.
But what about those times when you want to achieve something big, something that's way beyond your normal baseline? Well, that's where adaptive intensification comes in. Think of this as a deliberate, temporary power-up in your training for a very specific, short-term goal.
And understanding the difference between these two modes is absolutely key. Baseline living is your sustainable, flexible, always ready state, like being able to go on that 60-minute hike anytime. Adaptive intensification is temporary and has a clear purpose. You might use that baseline as a launch pad to train for 3 months to climb a mountain. But, and this is the key part, once that climb is done, you don't stay in that intense mode. You just return to your sustainable, easy-to-maintain baseline.
So, when you put this all together, what's the end result? What's the big payoff? Well, it's about having a life that isn't constantly being interrupted by a rigid fitness schedule. It's about real, actual freedom.
Maybe the most powerful benefit of all is that the guilt is just gone. It's totally eliminated. You can't fall off a program that you're not even on. You're either at your baseline, which is great, or you've just received a signal telling you exactly what to do. Both of those are good, productive states to be in.
Second, your flexibility just goes through the roof. You can take that spontaneous trip, you can dive deep into a creative project, you can handle a crazy work week, all without that nagging voice stressing that you're missing your workouts. Your baseline is your new normal, and it just travels with you.
And all of this leads to the ultimate point. This model makes sure your fitness serves your life and not the other way around. Your body becomes this capable, amazing tool that lets you go do the things you love, instead of being just another obligation that gets in the way.
There's a quote that really just summarizes this whole philosophy perfectly. Train to be capable, practice just enough to stay ready, and intensify only when life asks for more. It's all about building that readiness and then being able to rise to the occasion whenever adventure calls your name. So I'll leave you with this to think about. By moving from a model of daily obligation to one of confident capability, what would you do with all the mental and physical energy you get back? What adventures, what projects, or what passions would you finally go pursue? Thanks for tuning in.